Welcome to Shop Strategy, powered by Growth Suite. If you're a Shopify store owner, and well, let's be honest, that's probably why you're here, you're almost certainly using discounts.
hmm
But the big question is, are those discounts just giving you a quick sales bump, or are they actually building, sustainable growth for your business?
That's the core question, absolutely.
Growth Suite is all about helping you run smarter discount campaigns. And today, we're doing a deep dive to show you how you can actually test it out for free on your Shopify store.
Exactly. So today we're really getting into it. We've got an article here from the shopstrategy.com setting discount goals, and also this detailed document, GSV3.1.pdf, which breaks down the Growth Suite Shopify app.
Right.
And our mission really is to shift how you think about discounts.
Yeah.
They're not just price cuts. They can be strategic tools,
Yeah.
but only if you measure them the right way to unlock that lasting growth.
Yeah, it's about moving past cheering for more sales, right?
Yeah.
We need to understand the real impact across the whole Shopify business.
And it's crucial to see how discounts have changed. They aren't simply markdowns anymore. The really successful Shopify stores, they're using them in much smarter ways.
Okay, so let's get into that. What are some of these more strategic uses?
Well, the sources point to a few key areas. First off, customer acquisition. Getting that first purchase. Discounts can be great for that if done right without hurting your brand.
Okay, acquisition. What else?
Then there's loyalty. Think about rewarding your repeat buyers or maybe encouraging bigger baskets, higher AOV. Discounts work well there. And a really practical one, inventory management.
Clearing out old stock or seasonal stuff.
Exactly. Perfect for that.
So it's not just the discount itself, but the why behind it that matters.
Precisely. And the common thread, the thing that pulls it all together, is measurement. Both sources really hammer this home. You have to track how discounts affect everything. Profitability, customer actions, even brand perception. That's what turns a simple price cut into a strategic move.
That makes a lot of sense because if you're just throwing discounts out there without a clear goal, you could actually be hurting yourself long term.
Oh, absolutely. Big risk.
Yeah.
Both sources talk about the dangers of having no clear goals. The shopstrategy.com article specifically calls out shrinking margins and, maybe even scarier, discount dependency.
Discount dependency, what's that exactly?
It's when your customers get so used to sales that they basically stop buying at full price. They just wait for the next discount. The article mentions seeing really good Shopify stores fall into this trap.
Ouch. Yeah, that sounds like a cycle you don't want to get stuck in.
Yep.
So what kind of specific goals should store owners set then?
Okay, the article lays out a few. First, like we said, avoiding that dependency. That means, being careful about how often you run promotions.
Right, not training customers to wait.
Exactly. Second, keeping profit margins healthy. And that means really knowing the true cost of your discounts, which we'll dig into with metrics in a minute. And third, protecting your brand value.
How do discounts affect brand value?
Well, if you're always having huge store-wide sales, it can kind of cheapen the perception of your brand. So the goal is to use more targeted strategic discounts instead.
Got it. So these goals, they tie directly into bigger business aims, like getting new customers, increasing lifetime value, or like you said, shifting specific inventory.
Precisely. Which brings us to the big question. How do you know if you're actually hitting those goals?
Right.
And the answer, well, it's all about the metrics. Measurement is what separates random discounting from strategic promotion.
Okay, metrics time. Let's talk numbers. What are the absolute essentials we need to track?
So let's start with revenue. Shopify gives you gross sales, sure, but that's just the surface. You need to look at net sales, what you actually bank after the discounts. But even more important is your gross margin after discount,
Okay, why is gross margin after discount the really critical one?
because that's your actual profit.
Yeah.
It accounts for the cost of the goods and the discount you gave. The article has a great example.
Yeah.
So you have a $100 item, costs you $40. That's a 60% margin, right?
Right, $60 profit.
Okay, now slap a 25% discount on it. Sale price is $75. Your gross margin is now just $35. That's only a 35% margin. Your actual profit dollars drop by over 40%. It's huge and easy to overlook.
Wow. Yeah, seeing it laid out like that, it really shows the true cost. Okay, what other revenue metrics matter?
Next up is discount redemption rate. Basically, are people actually using the codes you're offering? You calculate it like this. Orders with a discount divided by how many times the code was seen or sent out times 100.
And why track that?
It tells you if your offer is actually hitting the mark, if it's compelling enough, is it worth the margin you're giving up?
So you can see which types of offers actually get people clicking buy.
Exactly. You can compare, say, a percentage off versus a fixed amount or free shipping. The article gives an example. Maybe a 15% off email gets a 5% redemption rate, but a 10% off abandoned cart offer gets 25%. That tells you a lot about timing and context.
That's super useful for fine-tuning things. Any other key revenue metrics?
Yep. The average order value, AOV impact. AOV is the average amount spent per order. You need to compare your normal AOV without discounts to the AOV when discounts are active. And the article really emphasizes threshold effects.
Threshold effects, like spend $100, get free shipping.
Exactly like that. Or spend $100, get 15% off. The idea is to nudge customers to add just one more item to hit that threshold.
And does it work?
Oh, yeah. The article cites examples where stores boosted their AOV by like 35% using tiered spend more, save more deals compared to just flat discounts. It can be really effective.
Okay, so revenue metrics are crucial, but you mentioned customer behavior too. What are we tracking there?
Right, because discounts change how people act, not just how much they spend initially. First thing is conversion rate changes. Track your baseline conversion rate, then what happens during the discount period, and this is key, what happens after the promotion ends.
Ah, the post-promotion dip or the discount hangover, maybe?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If your conversion rate tanks below normal after a sale, it might mean customers are, well, getting trained to wait for the next one. That's that dependency risk again.
Definitely something to watch closely. What else on the behavior side?
Cart abandonment recovery. This is the big one. Discounts can be super effective at bringing people back to complete their purchase. You need to measure what percentage of abandoned carts are recovered specifically because of a discount offer.
Okay, makes sense.
And here's a cool insight from the article. Timing really matters. They saw stores nearly triple their recovery rate just by waiting 24 hours to send the abandoned cart discount instead of firing it off immediately.
Wow, really? Just
Yeah.
waiting a day made that much difference. That's fascinating.
Isn't it? Patience pays off, apparently. Another key behavioral metric is the repeat purchase rate.
So finding out if these discount customers ever come back.
Precisely. Are they loyal customers or just one-time deal seekers? Track how many customers who used a discount buy again within, say, 90 days. Then compare that to customers who bought at full price.
Right, you want to see if the discount is actually building a relationship.
Exactly. And the article points out something interesting. Sometimes those really deep discounts, 40% off or more, they actually lead to lower repeat rates.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the more modest deals, 10, 15% off, attract customers who value your brand more and have higher lifetime value.
That's counterintuitive, but makes sense. Okay, this is all incredibly helpful. It's so clear that just looking at top-line sales is, well, missing most of the story. Now, that second source, the GSV 3.1.pdf about Growth Suite. How does that tool help get these deeper insights?
Right, Growth Suite. So the document describes it as a Shopify app built for running these kinds of on-site discount and email campaigns effectively. But the key part for our discussion is its data engine. It analyzes a ton of stuff: products, collections, customers, orders, even visitor sessions.
Visitor sessions, like what?
Things like what device they're using, where they came from, the traffic source landing pages, which pages they visited, how far they scrolled, time spent. Lots of granular detail.
Whoa, okay, that's a lot of data. How does Growth Suite make sense of all that in terms of discount performance?
It uses that data to generate specific reports that tie right back to the metrics we've been talking about. For instance, there's a funnel report. It shows you where people drop off in the buying journey, from the first visit right through to checkout completed. Discounts can obviously influence that flow.
So you can see if a discount is helping people get over a specific hurdle, like maybe starting the checkout.
Exactly. And there's a checkout-specific funnel too. Then you've got the visitor-based detail report.
Mm-hmm.
This dives into individual customer journeys. You can see what products someone looked at, what they added to cart, if they started checkout. It helps you understand if a discount influenced that specific person's path.
That sounds powerful for personalization.
It really is. It also highlights products people engaged with or ignored, which can directly inform which products might benefit most from a targeted discount. Then there's the product report.
What does that show?
Page views, add to carts, sales counts for each product. Super useful for spotting your winners and losers. Helps you decide, maybe don't discount your bestsellers too much, but maybe give a nudge to something that's lagging.
Right. Avoid cutting margins where you don't need to.
Exactly. And finally, the purchase insight report. This looks at the behavior of people who actually buy. How long did it take them? How many times did they view the product? Average sessions. It helps you see if discounts are changing normal buying patterns, maybe speeding things up.
So Growth Suite is really designed not just to give discounts, but to help you understand the impact through data.
Absolutely. And the PDF also talks about Growth Suite's campaign engine, which uses this data to run strategic campaigns.
Okay, tell me about the campaign types. What can it do?
Well, one really interesting feature is the AI-powered campaign. It analyzes a visitor's buying intent in real time and decides the best moment to show them a personalized offer. You set the discount parameters, like the percentage and timer, but the AI figures out the when and who.
Wow, so it's trying to optimize the timing automatically based on behavior.
That's the idea. Super targeted. It also does email collection campaigns, welcome pop-ups, offering a limited time discount for signing up, and product collection campaigns to boost underperformers or clear stock, plus thematic campaigns for holidays and things.
Sounds quite versatile. Anything else about the campaigns that stands out?
Yeah, a couple of things the doc highlights. It generates unique, one-time use discount codes for each person. And crucially, these codes are often auto-applied in the cart.
Oh, nice. So the customer doesn't have to remember or type in a code.
Exactly. Reduces friction, makes it way easier to complete the purchase.
Yeah.
And the codes get deactivated automatically when the campaign ends for that visitor, so you're not just leaving codes floating around forever. Helps maintain that urgency and exclusivity.
Okay, so looking at Growth Suite based on that PDF, what are the main advantages for managing discount strategy?
Well, the document summarizes it well. First, getting insights from data. Those funnel and purchase reports help you understand behavior to optimize. Second, running campaigns easily. It's designed to be user-friendly, save time. Third, finding opportunities with AI, getting recommendations for campaigns. Fourth, protecting your brand with native-looking campaigns for a good user experience. And fifth, increasing sales with real-time limited offers to create urgency.
All sounds very aligned with being more strategic about discounts. Now, we've got the metrics, we've got tools like Growth Suite, but are there common traps people fall into when interpreting all this discount data?
Oh, for sure. Even with the best data, you can still misread things. A classic one is mixing up correlation and causation.
Right.
Just because sales went up during a discount doesn't mean the discount was the only reason.
Right, maybe it was payday or you had a great social media post go live at the same time.
Exactly. Seasonality, other marketing efforts, lots of things can influence sales. You need ways to try and isolate the discount's actual impact.
How do you do that?
The article suggests things like using control groups, only showing the discount to some people. Comparing to the same period last year helps account for seasonality. And A/B testing different discount types against each other.
Okay, trying to create a cleaner comparison. What other interpretation pitfalls?
Multi-touch attribution. That's a tricky one.
Meaning figuring out what really caused the sale when multiple things were involved.
Yeah. A customer might see an ad, browse, leave, get an abandoned cart email with a discount, then buy. The discount was part of it, maybe the final nudge, but it wasn't the whole journey. It's hard to give it 100% credit.
True. It's part of a bigger picture.
Right. And then there's the short-term versus long-term view. It's easy to get excited about a quick sales spike from a discount, but you have to watch out for that discount hangover later. Or, worse, accidentally training customers to only buy on sale, that dependency issue again.
So how do you guard against that dependency?
Keep a close eye on your full price sales rate. And try to understand your customers' price sensitivity or elasticity. If you find you need bigger and bigger discounts just to get the same response, that's a bad sign.
This is all such practical advice. So putting it all together, how does a Shopify owner actually implement a solid discount measurement system?
The article recommends a structured approach. First, maybe create a discount testing calendar. Plan out your experiments. Second, and this is vital, establish your baseline metrics before you start discounting. Know your normal.
Right, so you have something to compare against.
Exactly. Then, build yourself a comprehensive discount dashboard. Pull together all those key metrics we talked about: revenue, behavior, inventory impact, long-term stuff in one place. And finally, it's about continuous optimization. Look at the data regularly, see what's working, what's not, and adjust your strategy. It's an ongoing process.
So the big takeaway really is strategic discounting, driven by understanding the right data, not just surface-level sales, is absolutely critical for sustainable Shopify growth.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's about getting deeper insights into your customers, their behavior, and their long-term value. That's the difference between just offering discounts and truly leveraging them.
This has been incredibly useful. For everyone listening, maybe take a moment after this to look at your own discount strategy. Ask yourself, what's one metric I heard today that I'm not tracking, but probably should be? Maybe start there.
That's a great action item. And of course, if you're looking for a tool to help implement these strategies, track these metrics, and run smarter campaigns, check out Growth Suite. We've seen how its features like the AI personalization, the detailed analytics, the easy campaign setup can really support this more strategic approach. It helps you get those data insights, run campaigns easily, find opportunities, protect your brand, and boost sales with urgency.
Absolutely. So explore how Growth Suite can help you run smarter discount campaigns on your Shopify store. You can test it for free. Start turning those discounts into real drivers of growth. This was a fantastic deep dive. Thanks for joining us on Shop Strategy, powered by Growth Suite.